Hey everybody, I'm DJ Sixsmith. You're watching The Sit Down. Big fight coming up this weekend in Bellator. The artist formerly known as Jack Swagger is here. Jake Hager, what's up, man?
My hair down, Prince lived through me.
How's everything going?
Exciting, man. What a time to be alive, you know? All elite wrestling, Bellator coming together.
You got a lot going on here.
Yeah.
How cool is it that these worlds can actually coexist, where I feel like in the past, like, people in the fighting world kind of were siloed to their own different corners? What's it like now?
It's so cool to me because, you know, I've been wrestling since I was 5 years old, and the big struggle for amateur wrestlers is we always want to grow our sport. We want to get it out there. And I feel like for a little bit, MMA has that same thing, especially pro wrestling. They have stigmas about them. Like MMA was like, oh, it's too brutal. And then pro wrestling, oh, it's so not real. But like, it's fun that the two worlds are colliding and really bringing attention to the greatness of the sport, and you really see how entertainment and combat sports like practically are the same thing.
Yeah, people are dying for it. There's definitely an interest and definitely a market, and you're somebody that's been athletic your whole entire life. I mean, from 5 years old to now. So
I can show you video that contradicts that
really?
statement.
I would be surprised by that. So, okay, with that being said, when did you feel like you were really growing into your own body and really felt athletic and could do this at a higher level?
You know what? I'm very lucky. Not at the time when I was going through high school. I was a late bloomer. I really didn't go through puberty until like 17, 18 years old.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And so people always say, hey, you're getting into the fight game so late at 36, 37 years old. But honestly, for me and where my body is at, I feel like I'm coming into my prime because of that. Like I feel like I'm stronger than I ever have been. I'm in better shape than even when I was at Oklahoma competing. And so it really just feels like, hey, I can do this, so why not?
So you come from a town of 5,000 people, very small town.
Yeah.
And when you think about going to the University of Oklahoma, like that's a huge deal in Oklahoma, not only playing football, but doing the wrestling thing. What sticks out in your mind from that time?
You know what, so blessed. From an early age, I wasn't the best athlete, but I had great coaches, so I learned how to work hard, and like through that hard work that I can become a better athlete and really compete at a top level. Perry, Oklahoma is the wrestling capital of the world, more state championships than any school and than any sport and any size. And so going from that to Division I Oklahoma, it was very cool, definitely a big step up, but I feel like I had Division I coaches in high school that really set me up for success. Everything's so surreal. Like, I could still remember the time that I met Bob Stoops and I committed to him for a full scholarship, you know, right the year after they won the national championship. And so, like, moments like that, you know, are very humbling and I think are very key to my success because I know all this could be taken away just as quick.
Yeah, it's good perspective. Did he come to your house, or when did you meet him? Did you go in there for a visit? How'd it go down?
He went wherever I told him to go.
You were that type of recruit?
I said, Bob, jump, and he said, how high?
You're like, listen, man, I'm the big-time recruit. You gotta listen to me.
He's like, hurry up and sign, kid, all right? One of the best things, though, afterwards, after I graduated, we were at a wedding when our ex-teammates got married, and Bob was there, and he was like, Jake, if you need me to come down with a chair, I'm there. And I actually pitched that to WWE, but
never made it through.
Yeah, we couldn't. They'd rather have me, you know, talk trash and throw up the UT Texas sign, but.
Yeah, you kind of fit your storylines as you kind of go on here.
Yeah, natural heel, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
This bad smile I got.
So what was it like for you when you jumped into that world? Because you've just been Jake, you're a wrestler, you're doing the football thing, you're from a small town, then boom, we're gonna create this whole persona for you. Like, how did you deal with that just from like an individual, personal level? You
know, it was very exciting after I got over the scolding of my parents saying, we just put you through college to get a finance degree and now you're going into pro wrestling.
They must have been freaking out.
Yeah, their faces are frozen in time forever. It was very cool, very cool. Like I'd been a fan, but like casual because I had just been busy with everything and competing. And so it was pretty eye-awakening at times too. The entertainment side of the pro wrestling was a lot for me to handle. I'm so grateful now that I have that experience because if I didn't, I would be like every other MMA fighter up here and all I'm talking about is how tough I am.
Right.
But now I understand the entertainment aspects and the characters and how to use that to my advantage. It really is instrumental in whatever I do. So very thankful for that. And man, it seems like yesterday. It goes by fast.
Yeah, I bet. Who are some of the people you learned from in terms of the whole entertainment business and just how to entertain an audience in general?
I mean, the first person I can think of that really helped me with the entertainment aspects is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, which how cool is it that I'm working with his son now in AEW. Really kind of took me under his wing. I don't know if it's because we both have Lisp or we both have American in our moniker, but it really helped break it down for me and see like it's almost more powerful having an amazing character than an amazing match, because you can do all the moves in the world, but if you don't make people feel a certain way, they're not going to remember you. And that was one of the main lessons that he always taught me.
When do you feel like your life changed? Like, what were some doors that started opening that you didn't expect to? Like, how did this whole wrestling thing just change things for you?
I mean, definitely being on a weekly episodic television will like change things, and of course the money is nice. I think the main thing, the biggest thing that changed for me is after winning the World Heavyweight Championship, because that was such an honor. You know, you look at the short list of people who have held that championship, and now I get to be a part of them, no matter what I do with the rest of my career. So that was a game-changing event, and also very cool that that was with Chris Jericho, who I am working with now.
Yeah, that's right. So when does the idea for jumping into MMA come to mind for you?
My college roommate, or my college teammate, Matt Grice, was fighting for the UFC, and my MMA manager now was also a former teammate at Oklahoma. And so they were in town in Tampa for a UFC fight. We went to it, and it was great, and kind of got the bug. And then from then on out, I was kind of gauging all the heavyweights, and like kind of like, oh,
you're like, who's out there? Could I fight this dude?
Yeah,
could I beat him?
I think I could get in there and move with him. I mean, I had no idea about all the stuff that goes into striking and kickboxing and how tough it is. This is just based on, you know, maybe ego and athleticism.
Just the eye test there, yeah.
And then slowly you see pro wrestling becoming more and more popular. You see MMA growing like it is, and it just made sense to where if I could cross over, how great would that be, and how much would that help each one?
Sure.
And so it slowly became more and more of a reality, and then it was scary to think about leaving the company, trying to find a way to substitute that income. 2 young kids to say, F it, I'm going to go out on my own and invest in myself and take a big risk, and possibly risk the last 12 years that I built in pro wrestling, because if I go into the cage and get beat, what does that do to the wrestling side of it? So, you know, it was very scary, but I'm so thankful I did it, because it was such a refresh button for my family and I to get out of there and just settle down and get kind of back to who I am.
Yeah, that's a scary thing. You have your foundation, you're settled, you're jumping into a whole new thing. So was there a moment when you're like, I'm not sure if this is going to work out, or was it just full speed ahead?
So many moments, so many moments. I can tell you like a number of times where I looked Rob and Josh in the eye, and almost with tears in my eyes, you know, like I got a long way to go, you know, and so I feel like I've already won because of this journey. Like a lot of people want the finish, they just want to get that W, they just want to get 3-0, but I feel like I've already won because of the last 3 years, because of the journey, because I've grown so much, and because not only did I change myself, but I became a better than my former self, which is true nobility. And I really pride myself on that. And because I'll be the first one to say I was in a bad place in 2016, 17. Wasn't living smart, wasn't living healthy, and I needed to change. And sometimes that's the scariest thing. But I got a great wife, and I got great friends and coaches that, you know, we're all in that cage together doing this, and it's been great.
What did those dark days look like for you? Like, how bad did it get?
You know, it's just, when I say dark, I mean dark as in not who I am.
Just like, kind of losing yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, after competing all my life and then going into entertainment and having those 10 years, you slowly become something that you're not, and unless you keep yourself in check and you're honest with yourself, and you know, all types of demons can come and arise out of that, and anybody who's been in that struggle knows what I'm talking about. And there's been moments where, like the biggest moment was when I came home and I broke down. I was like, I can't do this anymore. You know, I'm not living right, and I'm not being a good person to my family and my wife. And so it was very dark in that aspect. And Now it feels like the exact opposite. I'm best friends with my kids, and I'm so lucky to have my wife.
That's awesome that you were able to realize it and then also do something about it, because some other guys would just be like, hey, this is my situation, but you did something about it. It's all part of the journey. So when you think about the last 3 years, you made those changes. What else have you learned about yourself, whether it's as a fighter or just as a man?
You know what? I really learned that I thought I was mentally tough, but over these last 3 years, I've really found a new respect for it. It's just like, because there were so many nights where I'm wrestling on the indies, worried about paying not only for the mortgage, but also my kids' school bills, and so many times that I'm putting my 2-year-old daughter down, and I'm almost in tears because I'm worried about this stuff before she goes to bed. You know, I'm tearing up now just a little bit thinking about it. And just that resiliency that, like, you can push me far and get my back up against the wall. And now I know I have that confidence that I'm gonna respond and perform at a high level, and feels good.
Yeah, I bet. I don't think people really truly understand just how emotional a journey like this can be, especially when you have family and kids. Like, it's not just about being a great fighter, it's about providing and also just being around too. Like, that's a huge deal for you.
And for me, like, all the accolades of pro wrestling and MMA are great, but my biggest accolade is providing for my family.
Amen to that.
That's number one.
No doubt. So how about this weekend? Let's talk about the fight. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Bellator 231, man.
What can people expect at Bellator 231?
A lot of wrestling. You got 3 All-Americans, Division I All-Americans on the card. Ed Ruth, Phil Davis, both national champs. You know, I'm a little bit behind them, just an All-American, but we won't talk about that. You got Big Country, Frank Mir, 2 guys with just hard heads that are just going to try to tear each other up. I'm so excited. This has been a great month for me. We debuted on AEW with TNT. I look at that as part 1, and now this is part 2. Like, we planned this when we signed with AEW. Like, we're going to fight either right before it or right after it, and we're going to capitalize on this like no one else has. And now is the time to do that.
So what are the keys for you on Friday?
Stay flexible in there, stay open to where the fight takes me, stay open to what my coaches are telling me, and really just rely on all the hard work that we've done. Have confidence in the work that we've done. Have confidence in the fact that no one is training like us, and I can say that very adamantly. I know that I'm ready to go in there, and I know all fighters say that or whatnot, but this is my key, and he's gonna try to get me up against the cage, and good luck.
How long do you see yourself fighting?
You know, it's an interesting question. I definitely have a short window with 37.
Yeah.
But like I said, I feel like I'm coming into my prime, so who knows? Like,
you haven't taken all those big blows and hits like some other guys have.
Yeah, and I come into it with a name already, which a lot of people don't have, and so it allows me to come right and jump on the main card of Bellator 231. And you know, hopefully become a draw in the sport as well. Right now, I don't want to take my foot off the gas. I don't want to toot my own horn. I just want to keep going. I want to keep doing both AEW and Bellator, because I know this is all great, but it can all be gone tomorrow if I stop for 1 second. So just keep grinding. Don't talk too much trash.
It usually comes back to bite you, right?
It always does with me. Anytime I would talk trash with my sisters, they would always beat me. And so it's just like, keep your mouth shut, work hard, let that do the talking for you.
Humbled by your sisters since day one.
Don't tell them that, though.
I won't. It'll just be our little secret.
All right.
Hey, Jake, thanks a lot, man.
Hey, man, great.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Bellator
so much.
231 this weekend. Check it out on DAZN. For Jake, I'm DJ. See you next time here on The Sit Down.